Wassail. I couldn't get the other feed to start, so I've had to start. I've had to start a new feed. There was no button to say go live, and I wasn't really sure because I've never scheduled a live for so long. And so I just had a panic. Wassail Sheila. The eclipse is beginning in 2 minutes, which is very exciting. I need a sip of water. Calm me down. My microphone's got a bit of a lean on it as well. Let's just get that there. And we've got so much exciting stuff to get through. Wassail Sue. Wassail Olga, because I believe Olga's watching, but I don't know whether Olga will type in Wassail Liesel. Wassail Sarah, Wassail Carmen. Sorry for the change of feed, but as I was just saying, I couldn't work out how to set the feed starting, and I had a little bit of a panic. Wassail J, and so I just cancelled the old feed and put in a new one. And then for some reason, the thumbnail I'd used before was too big, and so I had to break the thing down. Wassail Bridge, Wassail Holly, Wassail Fib. Wassail Hannah Spanner. Look, Hannah got water. Just to make sure you know I'm drinking. So, Wassail Moonwolf. I'm kind of expecting there to be some different names because we're so late. I don't know whether I might fall asleep. might fall asleep. It's Wassail Darkfire Dragon. So, look, we've got more people than I imagined. Wassail Amber Sif. So, the full moon happens at 08:57 GMT UTC, which is 6 hours earlier where I am. So, the eclipse stats that we kind of need to look at is it's the longest partial eclipse this century. It's the longest partial eclipse actually for about 500-600 years. I say 500 or 600. Originally, all day it was 500, and then an article said it was 600. And I was like, okay, just make it up. Wassail Karen, Wassail Chorister Cheney. I'm sure it's Cheney. I forgot to check. Wassail Resounding Presence. Hey, Olga's here, everyone. Look, Olga, our lovely artist for the rune deck. She's in the house. You can tell her how beautiful you find her art. So the eclipse starts now. Well, it's already started. No, I don't mean it's there, but the shadow of the Earth's umbra is just beginning to drift across. I've got this weird light here. Oh, fabulous. Thank you, Yeti Girl. And Wassail Maria. As I said, everyone, Olga's here, the artist. There, look, Olga. Holly loves your art. So you can all have lovely conversations about digging up soil and turning it into paint. So the eclipse starts now, and the umbra will move. It will reach its maximum at 9:02 in 3 hours from now, and it will end at 12:03. So it's a 6-hour spectacle. The trouble is, I was going to do it outside, but I feel like I need to shut this door. Hang on a minute. I can feel an echo. That's a bit difficult because I can't seem to get that plug round the door. Ah, there we go. Oh, it might not shut, but that's better. That's more dubbed. My voice was traveling down the corridor. I know, it's cloudy here, Sheila. It's been as clear as a bell. There's been not a cloud in the sky every single day. And then Wassail Ariel. And then this evening, clouds descended. And I'm like, I've moved. I've flown all the way to Mexico to see a lunar eclipse, and you're hiding it from me. No, exactly. You would never see me at this because I go to bed early. But I just thought it's the eclipse. Even if I can't see it, we need to share it. We need to share the moment. I have to say, all day as this eclipse has grown, I feel like the emotions in me, I could weep all day. It's been so strong. Can you see it in Hawaii? No, I don't think you can see it in Hawaii. Not, you gotta be over this way. I think it's America, Canada, Mexico, and then it moves as you go over Costa Rica and down into South America, into the not as complete. You can see it, but not as complete. Oh yeah, Hawaii is right over that way, so my brain's dead. You do see it, Hawaii, as does Australia and India. I'm here and I can't see it properly, but I can connect us to it. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yesterday, it feels like something exploded in my head. It feels like 1,000 million years of human ancestry all went a bit nuts inside my head. And it's been really emotional and a need to kind of purge. I might just do that a little bit more. So there's lots of things to discuss, but I want to start with Sedna, which is one of the other satellites, asteroids. So Sedna is an Inuit goddess. And Sedna, I have to go all over the place on my notes here because I've been making so many notes of where have I put the positions? There we go. 28 degrees, and the moon is at 27 of Taurus. So Sedna right now is in 28 degrees. Sedna is the Inuit goddess of the sea. Now, what happened to her was her lovely father, or all the people, got hold of her, took her out in a boat, and then they shoved her over the edge of the boat to kill her. And I'm not sure why. Okay, I'm really not sure why, but they shoved her over the side of the boat, and she tried so hard with her fingers to cling on to things, and they pried her off. I think in some stories they even chopped her hands off and things to stop her, so that she could drown and be transcended into a beautiful goddess. Now, it's the idea, do you remain victim or do you transcend? So that's part of the energy of Sedna. So the full moon with the umbra, the shadow coming across, is in conjunction right on top of Sedna. Now, Sedna is so far away. It's a big egg-shaped orbit that it has, but its orbit, here's the Earth, and its orbit kind of goes all the way down there and comes all the way back and then goes really close to the Earth. And when it's all the way down here, it's in Libra. And when it's coming up here, it's kind of going through Aries and Taurus, and it will go into Gemini. So it's kind of, the last time it was here in its orbit was in the Neolithic times, because its orbit is something like 11,406 years, Sedna. And Sedna is often seen, she's the goddess of the oceans, and she's a living goddess for the Inuit. She provides them with food from the sea. And there's a whole kind of story when she's in Taurus, which is to do with the changing frequencies. And they've been going on since 1965. She's been in Taurus. So if we go backwards, because it's a very complicated story, in 1865 to 1965, she was in, Sedna was in Aries, and that was willfulness, forcefulness, war, atomic threats. All of that kind of energy was there. And then in 1965, she moved into Taurus, money, property, and greed. And in 2024, so in just 2 years, she will shift into Gemini, and that's when we get a thought consciousness change. But because she's bang on this lunar eclipse, she's gonna pry our fingers off things that we hold dear, particularly, I imagine, material things. Now, Sedna has a relationship to Ceres in that both of those asteroids have internal oceans. So we're looking at internal emotions. Ceres, sacral emotions. What in your sacral can't you let go of? I mean, look, I've been sick this week. I've vomited. So I think there's something changing. You changed your name. Sorry to confuse you. It's Ariel. It's Ariel. It's Soul Manor. It's Ariel. So there's another closeness that Sedna has with Saturn. At the last ice age, when she was this close, to us, it was the last ice age. It was also the start of agriculture, and she has a link to Saturn. So it's the idea of when we stopped being nomadic and we started to settle down and be sedentary, Sedna, and start towns and villages. So she's kind of, her 1 year orbit, which takes, as I said, 11,406 years, has almost witnessed the entire human existence. And she's, when she was at the furthest away in Libra, that was the Bronze Age. That was the beginning of the Sumerian times. And then you move forwards to when she was in Scorpio, the time of Egypt, the cult of the dead. Sagittarius, when she was in there, we were looking at the Greek miracles, early science and arts and democracy. So we're going to have a little look at what Sedna and the moon and Ceres have in common, because in musical harmonics of planets, we often say that they're different octaves. So where's my notes on the octaves? Just so that I don't say them in the wrong way. So we often say that Ceres is the higher octave of the moon, I think. Where's the page with it on? And then I've written it down here, I thought. Well, it doesn't matter. I can explain it to you. So Ceres is a higher octave of the moon. And then Sedna is a higher octave again. So the three of them are linked in terms of the seas, the emotions, and the sacral. So let's get some cards. And let's me not keep looking at notes, because we've still got loads to learn about some other things. What's up, Anthony? So, Sedna. We've got one card down here. Sedna, Sedna, Sedna. Oh, now we got a spillage. So the first card out was Sedna. Aqua Vita. Moderation. She brings a dangerous remedy. So I'm just holding that up. Oh, incidentally, I've added 13 more cards to this. So the last 13 cards are done in bright orange for the moment. So we've got the first of them here, which is card number 81, which is solve. The symbol for solve, to resolve, to realize, to awaken. So we've got moderation, which is a dangerous remedy. and we have to solve a dangerous remedy, presumably in our souls, but it's also coming out with Moon in Virgo. Now, Moon in Virgo is dealing with the pancreas and the bloody digestive tract. I have to say, my guts are gurgling again today. So, trusting in the flow of this tunnel, because we're going to be looking at the 12 columns in the tunnel as well. Wassail Rajma. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. No, my guts are really not happy. They were just this evening. They've started going a little bit weird. Now, the moon is talking about the magnetism. The moon and Sedna are pulling on each other. They have an attraction. They have a universal soul. There's erotic entanglements, but that's not what this is to do with. This is about an entanglement that has to take place between the moon and between Sedna. Okay, Wassail P. Monroe, Wassail Jackie Ann. I know that light ray is quite fun. I turned it off just now, but then I couldn't see the camera. So the other two we have out are Pallas and Chariklo with the moon. So negotiations. Moon is opening negotiations with Sedna. And then we have the graceful enforcer of boundaries. So it's like we're learning to purge something from our stomachs so that we can enforce boundaries, but we have to solve an issue. And I suspect that issue is not wholly with ourselves. We can have a rational decision, argument with ourselves, but can we make others listen to the boundaries that we're creating? So there's wisdom from Pallas. I'll have another sip of water. I think I'm going to be really thirsty. It's way past my bedtime. Yeah, I'm telling you, Ariel, it's all about boundaries. So now we're going to add some runes. And this will be fun for Olga, because Olga can see the runes live in action. So we want runes to Sedna. This aquavita, this moderation, I need to just go into this a bit more. This is things that you see as remedies, things you've always seen as remedies in your life that are toxic, because this is the symbol of alcohol, ethanol. And ethanol was thought to be a great cure, but you can take anything that's a good cure and you can abuse it. So we have to resolve, we have to waken to the toxicity of incorrect boundary setting is what I'm getting. And we have to trust our flow. We have to trust our sacral, our pancreas, our digestive system. I mean, this lunar eclipse being in Taurus is about neck, throat, and all of that kind of stuff. But clearly, with Sedna on hand, we're dealing with the digestive system. Yeah, I don't, Ariel, the trouble is, you can set your own boundaries, but people they do have to work out their own. You just have to help them to know that that's what they've got to do. But I don't think there are rules, because you'll just get follows out then, rules of unintended consequences. Ow, Cosmic Womb Collective. So we have, this is interesting. We have Evel, which is the original birthright. So it's a legacy, the legacy of Sedna. It's like it's almost like an 11,000-year-old legacy that's waiting. It's been waiting to get to now. And it's about boundary setting. We have to set boundaries. And underneath solve, but next to this rune, we have ignite the water meadow, ing. Now, ing is the sacral. This is where we have to plant new seeds and look at it as an energy. This is what we're trying to bring out, but at the moment it's still attached. It's in here. You can mark it off. You can find the same symbol. Don't know whether, yeah, you can see that. But this is the sacral. And it's interesting that I said we're also dealing with Ceres, because Ceres, let me just check the numbers. Ceres is at 7 degrees of Gemini. So in the next few days, the moon will move after going through and past Sedna. It will link up these three things, the moon, Ceres, and Sedna. And it's something to do with a sacral reset. The third card, Wendhorn, being unbound. Wassail Stella, I am doing all right. I felt great, but this evening, since that moon's been pulling, my stomach's gurgling again. And all the message here is about the digestive tract and the stomach. So I want to say that we're taking this energy. We've got to separate our birthright from within our old frequency. But to do that, we have to unbind. We have to change the frequency. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes in that. And here we're reduced to 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's some chunk of ourselves that needs removing. So let's see what the moon's got with its magnet, its negotiations that it's making with Sedna before it takes it to Ceres. We'll ask Ceres in a minute. Yes, sweet potato does help the digestive tract. Thanks. I can't get any at the moment. But I have got some... to be honest, I think I have to just keep with my water for the moment and allow the moon to do whatever it is that it's trying to do. It feels that my stomach felt fine yesterday. It felt fine today. But as this moon's got closer, it's gurgling. It's being pulled. It's doing something. I just don't want to have to be sick again. Can't be bothered to vomit. So uncouth. So what do we have? The moon is having a negotiation to mend something, to mend us. It's pulling on the frequency of Sedna as Sedna comes in close and the moon comes in and rides past it because it's a lot quicker. And then underneath Pallas, the negotiations, it's all about planting a new seed in the belly. It's Earthmasian. It's the energy of thy will be done. Not thy, yours. Thy as in thyself. You have to negotiate with your sacral in many ways. So Pallas is wisdom, it's arts, it's creativity, and you've got to work at planting new creative seeds, planting the seeds in the water meadow to bring about new flowers. What's underneath Chariclo, the graceful enforcer of boundaries, inwardness, the present, the gateway. It's clear, but it's boundaried. And that's our move forwards. We've got to set new boundaries within ourselves and externally with others. So when someone says to you, Are you going to come and do? And you go, no. And they go, what do you mean no? You go, just no. Just, I'm not doing it, you know? I've got something else to do now. What's that then? It doesn't matter. It's not your business. So I'm now going to put series down here. This may feel like we're going through this quite quickly with quite a simple message, but seriously, we've got to set up the 12 columns. So let's go back to this. Oi, I'm not having those. I'll have that one that's over there. So series. What's series got going for us? What series? Your Characlo is in Aries with Chiron. Well, they're married. Those two. That's nice. I think mine's way out over in Libra or something. Just out on the opposite side. So I ain't talking to you, husband. We're just waiting for one more. Do you know, I thought of Sirius today, Ariel, because Sirius has got 3 stars. And when we move on to the next part of this, as you were saying, there's 5. But I mean, the thing that I was looking at there, we're talking about the 3 main ones. And that's probably why. Oh, look, there we go. So, oh, brothers and sisters, we've got... We've got Mars and Eris, brother and sister. So he's root molecules. He's also the metal iron, but he's that question that we've been asking for a while, which is physical rage or sacred rage from the sister. And this is a challenge. This is the sacral having fire in the belly, real fire in the belly, real anger. On which do you plant the universal seed? Something tells me that somewhere along the line, it's almost like I feel like we need to plant both. But let's see what the runes have to add. Oh, we got a couple. Oh, we've got 2 extra. We're trying to keep that really neat. It's getting hot in here, people. Interesting. So, Mars, physical anger. It's got leaf. This is to unfurl. So it's part of your Yggdrasil tree. Your sacred rage is something else, but your actual rage that's in the belly is part of something that has to be purged, but it will always leave its code. It's part of us to remember physical rage. I'm not saying go out and hit somebody, but it is interesting that we're getting both the energies, the brother and the sister. Now, Eris is sacred rage. She sets down challenges, and she's coming out with spear. I'm just curious because we've actually we got a double. Look, we've got 22, 33, and 44. This is about this energy of bringing things into balance, because this is 72. It's a change frequency, but they're not in balance. And we're going through the sacral 22, spear and troth, and then here we've got the cosmic doubt, 44. So we're jumping through a whole series of master numbers. This is a really important one-off moment that's coming right now. So troth, spear. Spear in Norse mythology was Odin's spear. And the idea of it being a troth was that you could come to an agreement, a negotiation could be reached, and then you would swear on the spear, because once it was sworn on this spear, it cannot be broken. So there's something, I feel this is not just, look, no lunar eclipse happens just in these 6 hours and it's dealt with. It's 6 hours setting up the energy through the tunnel to the solar eclipse in 2 weeks. And then it's connecting the two all the way through 6 months to the forthcoming next year's ones, which will be all as the node shift. They will take place in Taurus and Scorpio. This one's Taurus and Sagittarius, because this really should be in Gemini, but we're being given this earthing moon where we're being told by Sedna to claw off our fingers from things we hang on to and change things within our sacral, to change the way in which we function in the world. So we've got to come to some sort of arrangement about our anger. We had a whole reading way back with Eris and Mars. I did a joint one with Patrick. But this is about coming to an understanding of what is your sacred rage, because look, here are the two possibilities coming together to create a troth, to create some kind of sealed agreement as we move through the coming weeks, I think, and then you got to stick to that agreement. It may be that the agreement has to be given to Neptune, but let's move on to that in a minute. So this seed that has to be replanted in the belly, this universal seed, this new grid lines around the world, and that is very much what's happening, because the nodes are shifting. So the tunes of the grid lines, where we've come from, where we're going to, what's important will be planets that you have in Taurus and in Scorpio for the next 18 months. So we're being given Conjunct, which is to doubt your journey. That's really fascinating, because it feels very much that the energy is saying, you, not that you have doubt, you need to doubt. It's never come across as that. The key is understanding what part of your sacral spiritual system is actually more this and less this. It's how to balance. There's something in my notes, because it's telling us also, I'm going to go to the notes in a sec. Rasa is to explore and to alchemize. This is to have the knowledge to explore yourself and your heart. So there's going to be some kind of Venus link. But there's with Sedna, there's kind of 3 stages through the going from being a victim to transcendence. So phase 1 is when you feel victimized, when you have persistent illnesses, when you feel alienated, when you feel an unrelenting trauma, when you feel pressure, when you feel resentment towards others, when you feel like life is quicksand, and when all you can see are blind spots, so you don't see. Okay, you can't see your blind spots. So I'll just say those again: victimization, persistent illnesses, alienation, unrelenting trauma, resentment, pressure, quicksand, and blind spots. So yeah, it's interesting when you need to look up Venus conjunct in Sedna. Anyone at the moment who has anything in Taurus it's at 28 degrees, didn't we say? Or 26? I check, it's 28, I think. Yeah, 28 Sedna at the moment. And Sedna's about to move within the next 2 years, well, 2024, into Gemini. So it's in the dying place, and it will be there again as we go round through 2022. So that's part one. Part two is when you have a radical acceptance of the changes. So this is when you begin to make a troth to yourself. You accept what has speared you, what has woken you. Because what tends to happen is when you're in stage one, you're unconscious and you get jolted awake, but it doesn't mean that you change. In the second stage, it's a kind of, it's kind of feeling that the density of life has become too much and you need to move. So it's coming out of the chaos. And that's what we're being offered the chance to begin now. Radical acceptance, knowledge of how bad it is. How bad is it to just start from this new point now? How bad would it be, even if you think you've been on a pathway, to just have a new reset? This is like a new reset because the nodes are shifting, being given a chance to alchemize things differently. So keep your heart in hell. That's what you have to do. And that, I think, is one of the most beautiful messages, because you've got to always remember that your heart is actually protected in hell. I know that sounds weird, but hell, the goddess, protects your emotions until she can return them to the light. And you need to nurture a sense of humor now. It can't all be serious. We really have to laugh. And then beat your own drum, sing your own tune for life, and know that you can do this journey forwards. But you really do have to get your heart in hell so that you can appreciate what it is down there, and that will help you reach the light. But we've got to connect to humor. And then part three, which is also why I'm talking about this doubt, we all have this thing. Oh, yeah, I do it. I think I'm really doing well on my transcendence. But spiritual density and spiritual destiny are linked into this. And it's when nurture is the abundance of everything around you and love and harmony. And we think we have that, but we don't. It's very, you know, you're not going to find someone on stage 3. We're barely stepping into stage 2. But we do have to look at the things about our spiritual pathway that we need to doubt. So that's the message from those 3. How are you all doing? Because, look, you know, you need to remember that lots of our spiritual belief systems were created post 1965, and Sedna said she's shifting now. She's on her way out. So we really do have to change. So I'm going to put all of the runes back. Olga's here, everybody, but she might have nodded off because she's just only arrived in Peru. I'm not in Peru, I'm in Mexico. So she's still got a bit of jet lag. But she was here earlier. Let's get this. Pop these back into here. And now we're going to move on to the other little trickster that's hanging around. Oh, and that's Algol, not Al Gore, Algol, which means the demon. And it's become known as the head of Medusa. It's supposedly the most dark and evil star in the system. Like, I did a really bad drawing of it. This is Perseus in the night sky. He's a bit more like that, but I'm holding out bright. Here's the head of Medusa in his hands. So, what can we say about Algol? It's Beta Persei, its original name, and it's not one star, but it's between 3 and 5. So that Ariel and I don't have an argument. I've only got it down as a 3-star system, but there are others that pull on the energy of it. But what's really interesting is that the 2 main stars just keep spinning around each other. And this means that they keep eclipsing each other. And what's rather interesting is, where did I write it? I need some more colored pens that are brighter to put circles around things. On December the 2nd, 2021 at 11:36 GMT, there will be an eclipse of Medusa's demon eye in the middle of the eclipse tunnel. Well, nearing the end of the eclipse tunnel. It's just after Neptune has gone stationary prograde. And yeah, Melba, I've been thinking about that, and I think you should really stick with Lefruma for the moment. I don't want to, you could do Kuzma, but I suspect that really, you just want to connect with the light. You want to keep the elven light going at the moment, because there's a lot of dark energy, and I've been trying to drink alternative runes. So, Algol means head of the giant, but it's also linked to the Arabic word for alcohol. Sorry, I was doing eclipses. I got sidetracked. So, there is an eclipse of these stars in the eclipse tunnel. So, Medusa's eye will eclipse. Now, Medusa is associated, this star at least, with misfortune, violence, decapitation, hanging, electrocution, mob violence, all this very heavy energy. And Algol rules diamonds. So there's something about the twinkling brightness of this. There's also that link to alcohol, because Algol is linked to the root word for Arabic for alcohol. And that goes back to the card that we had earlier, that was the aquavitae. So how there are cures that can be quite poisonous. So what we need to think about when we look at Medusa is the kind of the fear that she brings. It's almost the play of Perseus, who kills her, linked in as Mars, and Eris linked in as Medusa. It's almost like it's 2 sides of an anger, and yet neither are right and neither are wrong, because he kills Medusa to kill another bigger demon to save a woman. It's all complicated layers, but most of the time it's a fear of the power of woman. It's got that energy of both Sedna, this goddess of the Inuit seas, but it's also got the energy of Dark Moon Lilith, Black Moon Lilith. It's a fear of women in their own power. And I'm always fascinated by that, because a lot of the things that are attributed to this star, which is in her head, are to do with sort of like protection against witchcraft and the evil eye and all of these kinds of things. Wassail, do you believe in aliens? Wassail, say yes, I may, shall be. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at Algol and see what we get, because I think this might be quite complicated, because it feels as though there's a real strong build-up of feminine energies, particularly with the moon, there's a sense that when we move into the Janus Geminus, which we're calling the Janus Neptunus, that it begins with the goddesses, and it's like the goddesses are trying to teach a message to the gods in the tunnel. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's have a little look. Yeah, I'm not sure, Anthony. I'm not sure that I think it's the women coming to rescue the men. I'll explain it when we get in. There's a ritual that takes place in Rome in the Janus Geminus, the tunnel of war, and it takes place on the 1st of October on my birthday, and that's the end of war season. And you take all of the male soldiers that come back, and they have to be purified and purged of their anger. And that's very much this thing, because there's a sacredness put upon soldiers back then. So I think it's really about very strong, Sheila, very strong feminine energy that's bringing in a new frequency. Yeah, she didn't do what was expected of her. And I'm talking about Mars again and the need to purify Mars. And he's back with his anger. It's interesting. Look, I've put these all back separately. I'm not going to keep these up. I'm just going to show you them. The Mars card, we're talking about that physical anger needing to be purified in that ceremony. The card of Solve has come back out again. And Cancer, solutions. This is inner work solutions. So that is this theme. But I think we'll get more of that when we move on to the columns. I don't even know yet whether women must forgive in order to heal. I don't think it's about them forgiving. I think it's about us just understanding ourselves as having both masculine and feminine within us. It's an energy frequency where we're all both things, and I think that's what the columns in the eclipse tunnel is trying to teach us. I got a real sense of everything being turned on its head. The whole point of the Janus Geminus is it's about change. It's the god Janus is about doors and passageways to take you in somewhere to change absolutely everything. So I think we all have to change our opinions of everything. That was what the cosmic doubt was about. I think we all have versions of what we believe both genders should and shouldn't do, and I think we just have to just allow, we have to flow, and we have to balance. Yeah, exactly, Yeti girl. Mars is also, he is very heroic, but the point is that all of the heroes have to come back in October, because the war season was March to October, and when they come back they have to be purged, because they can't bring what they called sacred rage into the city to live their lives through the period when there was no war. And so there's a particular ceremony that had to take place. I'll give you the name later. I have to look it back up again. So I wasn't expecting to have to talk about it too much. I was just going to say that it had to happen. So what have we got? Moon in Taurus just slipped out. It's where it is right now. And it's sensual nights. Are we all having a sensual night? So, right, this is neck, vocal cords and throat, as I said. I don't want that to happen. We're looking for Algol. The head of Medusa. I feel like they're stuck in my hands, like Sedna's gripping them. It's so interesting. So we have Moon in Scorpio. The sun's in Scorpio, but you know, it's in the season of Scorpio, this moon in Taurus, and we're being pushed towards Sagittarius, serration, literally drip, 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 emotions, water, heat, drip, drip, fire and water. Now, this is an earthing moon, and there's no fire. So there's going to be some kind of increase of heat in the next 2 weeks that will bring about this serration process, which is when the difficult things just there's more and more dripping of water until they become cooked and waxy so that you can remove them. And the energy of this ends with the very final card at the moment, card 92, which is soot. You might recognize it as willfulness, ennui, from the runes, but it's actually the alchemical symbol of soot, and it's chaos and endings. So what we can do is we can change the chaos of the endings. There's lots of divine numbers here. 5 and 4 is 9. 606. Sagittarius is 9. And 9-2, again, that's an 11, which is an earth grid number for me. But you've got 96992. We're just missing 3. So sensual nights, emotional exchanges. You see, this feels like it's talking, this wink of the eye, this moment now where Algol, this supposedly dark, evil Medusa star, is offering this, which is the transfer of the nodes. The nodes are moving next year on the 19th of January to Taurus and Scorpio. I do like the magic of the cards, the way they're being very clear about the programs. So this moon now, this moment where Medusa's opening her eye benevolently, it would seem. It's a weird vibration going on then. Is to bring about almost the serration of Sagittarius, because that's where the nodes were. It's got to pry the nodes off, because it's managed to get this one already. This is meant to be a Gemini eclipse, and it's Taurus, so it's got that one. It's just got to pry the sun out of there and put it into Scorpio. I mean, the sun is in Scorpio, and it's about this sootiness, this burnishing. It's like saying that we've had our last moment of a kind of fiery chaos that's been long in the making, and it's burnishing us, and it's leaving us with just all the elements, the carbon. It's all been stiffened and carbonized, and we've got to change, remove, and polish that frequency. Thanks. I'm loving the cards. I'm loving them now. I've got the extra 13 in. I miscounted and thought it was going to be. Oh, thanks, Hannah. So if you want to, I always forget. Got no moderators in here, actually, have I? I need some moderators. If you wish to send me a donation, you can do it via PayPal. It's PayPal me /rustlingaround or @rustlingaround. They seem to have doubled the way in which you can do it. Oh, yeah, sorry, Ariel, you're here. I'm not saying you have to keep telling everyone to send me money. I don't remember myself, but it's something that Penelope does all the time. It's just then there were no. Oh, and Bridge is here as well. And I just want to say, if you are one of my moderators and for any reason you delete a message or time something out, I'm never going to look to see what they said. So you just do what you feel's right. I'm never bothered. Everything's good. So the runes that go with this, there we go, look. Well done. I'm so bad at it. Anyone would think I was rolling in money that I'm so unconcerned. Look, Ash, immediately, ask, 26, personal Yggdrasil tree. This moment, this moon, this tunnel is personal. Now, nothing could be more personal than the fact that the last part of the reading with Sedna was all about the stomach and the sacral and Ceres. It's like a helicopter going over now. Got two more. Oh, and there's the fourth one. Oh, I love it. I love these new cards. Hurry up, Olga. Let's say hurry up. I'm still writing the book. It's taking me forever. So, the new nodes, the space that the nodes are moving to, are shifting to, is bringing about a journey for a personal journey through our Yggdrasil tree, Rad. And it's really interesting. This is calc. This is to unanchor because it's coming under this serration. You've got to, the boundaries, the walls, the buildings, your personality, your belief system. Olga, I'm only joking. You need to take as long as you need to take. It's all good. You've got to you've got to break down all of the boundaries. That Mars and Eris energy is still present, and you've got to pull apart everything so that you can remove what was old, what was once you, what was you in chaos, what was you completely covered in soot, carbonized. Break out from your carbonized ways. You're calcifying. This is a card of calcification, I think, or rust might be. But there is an energy of being stuck, being willful, being resistant to change. Would have been cool if the willful card had come out with that, but it didn't. So that's the first part of this message from Medusa. You have to change. Because Medusa's about, don't look her in the eye because she'll turn you to stone. She already did that. She turned you to stone. Well, she didn't. You did it to yourself. Medusa's saying, burst out from it. Et bursten. So I'm hearing, this is weird. I'm hearing that we're all, Wassail Kelly, that we're all our own personal narcissist. That's a bit weird. So, not the runes. We need to see what takes place then. So we go into the Negrado. We go in and we look at the chaos. And if we change, if we burst out, if we change things in our sacral, if we plant new seeds and water them in our water meadow, I'm not sure how many I've got down there on the floor. I moved the table nearer so that this wouldn't happen. Oh, what's this one? Oh, right. What happens if you want to shift, if you want to change, if you want to take away being the victim of your own narcissism. I can't believe that's the message, but it is. If you want to unanchor and rebuild yourself, what do you get? Venus, higher heart, Eros, sensual, sexual desires and kinks, and you get the Sun. So look at these as symbols. Now, this is a better world, isn't it, in 2022, when these modes change. This is the opening gambit where we've got to change a lot of stuff about ourselves. We've got to change our philosophies. We've got to change our beliefs. But this is love firing into us to make ourselves happy. It's like being impassioned. Yeah, I would say, Maria, exactly. That really does feel like very sexy times ahead. And on the bottom of the deck is Neptune. And Neptune owns this eclipse tunnel. And so we're moving from the moon in Taurus to the sun. I'm not saying, in the middle of the tunnel, suddenly you're going to be, getting all jiggy with it. And I'm not saying you're going to be getting all jiggy with it. Well, Bridge might be. At the end of the tunnel. But what I'm saying is this is the promise that comes if you go on the journey and unanchor yourself from your own narcissism and burst free. Because there is a part of ourselves. Look, I've met people, I was one. I've talked with people who've been in narcissist relationships, and I've tried to explain to them how they have Stockholm syndrome, and they deny it, and that's them being a narcissist to themselves. I've never understood that, but I did it myself. My personal narcissism was holding conversations in my head for 2 years, still with my ex, even though I didn't like him anymore, wishing that he would come back. Yeah, but I think there's a part of us that is our own personal narcissist. Otherwise, we'd open our eyes and we'd just go, piss off. Now. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. But we don't. We go, oh, you really hurt me, but if you won't do it again, well, that's being a narcissist to yourself. Because you're bringing that pain to yourself. Do you know, I can't believe this is coming out of this message. I sit and I do notes, endless notes. This is all the notes, all of this to get me ready for what the frequencies are. That might not be, but these. And then this comes out. This comes out. I just want, I feel, I've got the wrong deck. So, look, it goes in with that reading we did the other day, the 2222222 reading. It's 2022-2222, and things are going to change. It's about coming back out. Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite, Sheila. Well said. Do not cut your cords. Unhook them from them and send theirs back, because they don't need, your love belongs to you to give to someone else that can appreciate it. And what do we have? Witchcraft. You see, this was the card that Sheila discovered because she's a witch. Sorry, Sheila. But you got to have a sense of humor. That's what the thing said. It was just that Sheila did a reading on this, a rune rake, and she got the energy of the elder. And I'd been waiting for elder to turn up with a rune, because although we say Elm was the original woman, there's something about that feels a little bit like Elm was Eve frequency, and elder is more like Lilith. It's true female power. And look, it's coming under Venus. Love is witchcraft. It's what they're saying. Love is witchcraft. Now, underneath, this is complicated. There's 3 for 2. It's an offer like you get at the supermarket. I feel like the Eros is coming with these 2. So look, it's a divine spark. It's being struck in the sacral, firstly, with self-love. That's interesting. I feel like I need... And then the sun has got the legacy of your original birthright, but there's something missing, because this isn't just sacral self-love. This arrow goes 2 ways. You can't fire this arrow until you've pulled it from your own sacral. And someone's pulled an arrow from their sacral and it hits you. I want that information, and I want it now. I believe love is witchcraft. It does weird shit to you. So, come on. What's the arrow that's not our own? What's the arrow that's hitting us? Oh, look, there's bloody loads. I'm going to have to make space. Let me just move these along so that there's room for all of this story. I'm keeping the end, the sun, and the legacy, the birthright. What did we begin with? It's interesting. Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is fermenting. It's not putrefying. It's fermenting something new, a new frequency. Oh, you know, for a long time, since February, these 2, they're so much like they're one energy. And on around the 1st of January, there's a stellium, briefly, the moon, the sun, Pluto, Mercury, and Venus are all briefly at about 11:50 p.m. GMT, 11:53 it might be, on the 1st of January. As soon as we hit 2022, there's this stellium, and it will ferment this energy of love, because Venus is retrograding backwards and forwards over Pluto, and that's what we've been getting this message of. Pluto, you know, Hades being love buff. So what's the rest of this energy? I don't know which way around this is. I guess it's this energy being distilled, first of all. This is a new one on you, people. Look at that lovely symbol. So this is to contain, to secure, and to intensify. It's almost like the energy of Capricorn will contain, will cloud, will block in and intensify this relationship between, I don't want to say war and peace or death and light. It's more complicated than that. it's like an energy of surrender, sensual surrender. He is surrendering to the peace that Venus is offering. So that's intensifying the sexual desires. Men filter. Another new one. Oh, this is interesting. 86 and 87. I know they've been put in the deck so that couldn't happen. So it's deliberate. It's a natural process to intensify something and then to banish the grit. To banish, it's almost like she's coming in to banish some of the old grit, the old backbone, the old spine energy, and holding back a frequency that no longer belongs. And then we've got another of the alchemical actions, which is to compose. Now look at the difference between those two. Containing. Venus contains Pluto, and she does all this kind of sensual movement. There's something of the energy of Scorpio attached to this. So she's mimicking attributes of Pluto, who rules Scorpio, and then she's filtering him down, and she's got him hooked. And then when she's ready, this is opening out. This is becoming very much Neptune frequency, but it's a trident. It's fishing, reading him in, hooked. There's something of the sexual drive coming in, a change of direction. And then we have Make. And I feel like this environmental wisdom is more to do with drawing Pluto out into the world. Make is currently in Libra. It's really at the very end. I'll tell you where it is. It's something like 28 degrees of Libra. Oh no, it's at 8 degrees. It's Hermea that's 29. So this is ruled. Libra is ruled by Venus. So there's something about bringing sensualness. Yeah, it's like outdoor sex. It's like the pleasure of the environment, needing beautiful spaces, creating eroticism in the real world, not in the bedroom, out in the real world, being a little bit kinkier. And it brings happiness. It brings happiness. So that's very lovely and exciting. Now we're going to move on to the eclipse tunnel itself, because it's underway now. And there's 12 columns inside it. Oh no, I'm putting the wrong ones on, I? Oh no, it's all right, I'm okay. I suddenly thought I was putting the runes in the same deck, but you know what? You could put these two decks together. They're going to be made the same size so that you can. So inside the Janus Geminus, there are 12 columns, and we have 12. Well, we have 14 days, but we get 2 days at Null Island, as we did last time in the last one. And there will be things to do on each day. I'm not saying you have to do them all, but, if you're a dedicated follower of fashion, you'll want to. But otherwise, just do one. Wassail, Elsa. So, I don't know what to do about this. Let's just go through the description briefly, and then we'll decide. So, we all know about, in Rome, you had the Janus Geminus. Janus was the two-faced god. There was sometimes Janus, so there was the sun and the moon. But inside this space, there was a walled garden. They opened the doors when there was a war at both ends. And then you walked in and there were 12 columns. And in the middle was a statue of either Janus or there was a statue to Saturn at some points. And they would cast prophecies by the statue, who was looking both forwards and backwards in time because he was watching all the doors. And they would find out the outcome of wars, and then they would create ceremonies. So part of our ceremony is to identify 12 columns. I'm not doing all 12 tonight. I just need to do the first 6 so that gets us towards Null Island, because then I think the message from Null Island will tell us what we're doing with each of the other 6 columns. So at the moment, I've got it done with the names of the goddesses first, then Null Island, where we will meet Neptune. Oh, the bells. Oh, my hip just clicked. You see, that's old. That's old ancestral shit needs to go. So at the moment, I don't know whether we're going to do it this way. I'm just going to read it out to you. But so you're going to do the columns, not on the 19th, not in the morning. 20th, 21st. I might already be that for you, Bridget. Sorry, start again. Column 1 is on the 20th. Column 2 is on the 21st. Column 3 is on the 22nd. Column 4 is on the 24th. Third. Column 5 is the 24th. Column 6 is the 25th. And then you get 2 days off. And then you get another 6, which is the 28th, 29th, 30th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then the following day, we're out the door into the sunshine. So, do we do, or do we let the decks just decide? You see, I was going to give the columns a name, but they might just have it. Let's give them a name, and then we'll see what the energies come out. So it begins. Column 1 is Diana. We might want a pen, which I didn't bring in with me for a timestamp. So column 2 is Juno. Hello, everyone. Wassail. Column 1 on the 20th is Diana the Moon, because you've just come out of the lunar eclipse, okay? On the 21st, it's column 2, and it's Juno, the Mother, the Queen of Heaven, she who brings union. On the 22nd, it's column 3, and it's Minerva, and she brings wisdom. On the 23rd, it's column 4, and it's Venus, and it's all about peace and love, man. On the 24th, it's column 5. There's 110 reading now, watching. It was 111, but 110 was my birth date. Now it's gone to 108 because we spotted them. They're hiding. So the 24th is column 5, which is Ceres, which is the soul, the sacral. And then column 6 is on the 25th, and that's Vesta. And Vesta is the nurturer. Now, in early times, it was said that Janus was the first god, the beginning of all things, the spark of everything. He created everything. And the very final thing in the entirety of things is Vesta. So it's called Janus Primus and Vesta Extremus. And the idea is that Vesta's the eternal flame, and you don't get to the soot that we just saw until the flame finally goes out. So it's the very last thing to ever be extinguished. And actually, even when Christianity began, it took so long, took them 300 years to get rid of the festival of the Vestal Virgins and Vesta, which was the 15th of June, because everyone loved that festival. So why am I giving you these names and columns is there's a group that's called the Dei Consentus, and they are the 12 gods that were considered the most important, and they come in pairs. So it's Jupiter, Juno, Mars and Venus, Neptunus and Minerva, Vulcan and Vesta, Apollo and Diana, and Mercurius and Ceres. So, yes, Christmas it begins on the 17th of December, Saturnalia, and it goes on, because last year's one was really interesting because Saturn moved on the 17th into Aquarius, and then 3 days later, we had the great mutation with Saturn and Jupiter going into conjunction. It's very magical. So, I will put this up on something in there, but let's just go with a drink of water. Yeah, I'm going to put it up on the website, Sheila. I need a bit more water. Can anyone see the umbra yet of the Earth on the moon? It's been doing it for 90 minutes. Can anyone see the umbra, or have we all got clouds? We've got the umbra with that, I'll tell you. So let's do a timestamp at 12202. I can't write it down though. For column 1, Diana the moon on the 20th. Oh no, is it raining, Sheila? Hasn't risen for you yet, Jackie. No, some places will only see it as it goes, as it sets. It'll suddenly show up. Right, so that'll be my job tomorrow, writing a web page. Oh God, I got my beard caught. So temple, column one. Let me put a signal in so I can find it, because I'm rubbish at timestamps if I don't have a pen. No, you can't have that many. Column 1. You can see it. Fabulous. Cloudy as heck. You see, I don't know whether it's cloudy. I've got the curtain shut at the moment. Too many cards. Column 1, Diana. What's your theme, Diana? Right, there's 3 cards. This could be a theme. What's the energy? Oh, I don't know what that means. So the first column is quincunx. Careful how you say that. It's too cloudy. It's very clear wherever Stormart is. Southeast USA. Southeast USA. See, I should be a bit like that, because I'm kind of, Southeast Mexico. So quincunx, at odds and not speaking. You see, Right, this is a meditation, okay? This first column with the moon tomorrow, well, the 20th, wherever it is for you, is about not speaking to anything but the moon. Because the moon, it's not that it's in Sagittarius. That's not the relevant part here. it's moving through the tunnel towards Sagittarius, the energy, and it's almost like a baton. The moon's lunar eclipse will be passing the energy of the solar eclipse to Sagittarius. This is the important part, is that it's a philosophical mission. And it's talking about livers, hips, thighs, and the sacrum. Livers, hips are ruled by Neptune. And it's Neptune in the middle of the tunnel, waiting to receive the 6 columns of wisdom from the goddesses. And then in Null Tunnel, he'll do something to change the message round and deliver the goddesses' messages to the gods, who have to take it and bring it back out into the world. And it will be some kind of change. So we've got this meditation on the first column, and the other big energy that's here, it's about changing a philosophical mission with a download from Gaia, Uranus, crown consciousness. Uranus, Gaia is in Taurus at something like 10 or something degrees, 12, and retrograde. Because when the nodes shift, Gaia, Uranus, stops, becomes stationary and turns prograde. You're rewriting your philosophy. That was the message before. What of your spiritual pathway is toxic now? You have to start by saying to the moon, I'm ready to rewrite the philosophical mission of my spiritual journey forwards. Gorgeous. Let's get some runes. Oh, Kelly's getting snow. Cloudy in Salt Lake. Oh, look. Here it is. It's ennui. Resistance. That's coming under the quincunx. Being at odds, not speaking. It's again, what of your spiritual pathway is so rigid within you that you can't see that it's wrong, and you're being willful. You're being difficult to yourself. You're being resistant to your own change. You've got to give up that in your new philosophical mission at column 1 to the moon and to Diana. Got another one. You just can't see it. You're blind. You're hod. You can't see that things you hold dear philosophically are just wrong. They're not part of your new mission moving forwards. You've got to change philosophical beliefs. And I think it's going to hurt. Because you're creating new boundaries, remember? So Gaia, and look, Gaia, this is all about change. Uranus busts everything up. And it's right now, as I said, in Taurus, it's helping Sedna to pull your fingers off the side of the boat so that you can stop being a victim, drown, and transcend into something new. Okay, so we've got 2 here. Oh, look. We love this one so much. Stenkness. This is the energy of being tested. The whole of this tunnel begins with you understanding it's a test of your philosophical fluidity. How's about that then? And where's the test meant to be taking you? Everywhere. Weirdhamir, witchcraft, the Norns, the Allrune, Spellbound. That's what this is all about. Yeah, that's exactly it. It is like a wrecking ball changing your divine lives. And that's almost, look, there's the wrecking ball swinging in. So that's the Diana. I'm going to put them back each time, because I think we might need to see certain cards return, and I don't want to remove them from it. So that's the first column. Now we're moving on to the second column, which is Juno, the mother, on the 21st. Column 2. Juno, mother frequency, union, queen of heaven. What she want to say? Do you know what, Jackie Ann? I have to say I've had several good purges, but I still think there's some big ones that we couldn't imagine coming up now. So, let's see. That's too many. Oh no, it's 4. Let's go with 4 for Juno. Let's see what Juno's got coming. Interesting cards returning, as I said they would, but they were all put away separately and they've all come out together. So it begins with Moon in Pisces. So this is passive sensitivity. So you've gone from the Diana column to this new column, passive sensitivity. This is about feet, toes, pineal gland, which was very much being activated by Uranus. So it's like your pineal gland, and there's a sense of sleepiness. There's something about sliding in to the energy of Juno, and this is about a sort of environmental wisdom. It's almost like you've got to consider in your philosophy, your mission that you're doing, this new creation that you're making. You've got to make space for how your world is meant to be, because if Juno, and what I'm seeing is I'm being shown an image of kind of like slumber in woodlands, slumber in the natural world, like Titania. It's the energy of being much closer to nature, you know, seeing the stars up ahead, seeing a bloody eclipse because there's no clouds. So Wassail Meg, Wassail Spirit 111111111111111. And then we have Soot again, followed by the Sun, and that's coming across as polishing the burnished, tarnished soot from your soul and making it shine. Juno is birthing now because she's mother womb energy. She's a cosmic womb collective. The Moon in Pisces, it's about learning how to walk a new walk with the environment. That's the second part of your philosophical. I think you're writing a bit of a treatise, like a manifestation in 12 steps for your new life next year somehow. Oh, that's got a little bit damage, but look what it is again. I'm saying, and your new legacy, that's what you're building. You're creating on each of these columns part of your legacy forwards. And you decide it. No one else decides it. It's you. This is a personal thing that we go through. So, make. There we go. You decide the footprints that you leave behind. I love these cards. So, make is Hawaiian, I do believe. No, is she Rapa Nui? She might be Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Foot sole prints. You've got to work out feet, toes, and pineal. You've got to change the frequency of your steps. And I mean you walk, change your gait. What I mean is when you walk the world with joy. You walk the world with confidence. You've written a new connection between you and the natural world. You have a wisdom around the natural world as you step. And then you have gripped. This soot, this calcifying, this tarnishing, this energy that has got us to the place we are now. And for all that we think we're spiritually up there, we're still covered in soot that needs cleaning off. That's part of it. This is stopping us from seeing our shine. And it's gripped all over us. But it's part of being alive. We're meant to be covered in the soot. And that's what we're here with Juno trying to change. And then the sun is coming with hell. Actually, I feel like I want to put it that way. Ho, ho, ho. Hell is returning the light, bringing the shine back. Juno will help you to see your own shine. From there, your Pharos, lighthouse, sacral frequency, column 2. Yeah, it is a message, Cosmic and Collective. I really feel it. The other day, because Treadle's been coming out a lot. Every time I walk out now, I don't walk around the town thinking I'm a visitor and I have no right to leave my energy here. I have my right to leave my energy there because my energy will transform things. If I send out beautiful energy with every step I make, then I will leave good energy for others to walk on. And we need to do that everywhere we walk. So column number 3 is Minerva. And this is on the 22nd. 22nd of November, Minerva, wisdom. So let's see what Minerva wants to say. Oh, you get on Minervas. Right. There was a beautiful temple to Minerva that was discovered in Greenwich Park, where I used to live in London. And then one day I went down there and they'd done something to it and it just all gone. I mean, it wasn't really there, but the mound was there and suddenly you couldn't get a feel for it anymore. And I was like, damn you, progress. It's 4. If it's 5, it feels like it's too much. So what is Minerva? Salt. This is materialization. Salt is fixed modality. So, okay, this is interesting. That they're saying to me, Diana the Moon, think of the first column as the child. Think of the second column, Juno, as the mother. Think of Minerva as the crone. We're now dealing with the energy of crone on column 3. And it's fixed modality. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Uranus. What else have we got here? Okay. Right, this is a very magical column. So we've got salt. Salt is to materialize something. they're saying it round the wrong way. I get it now. I get it. It begins with Ceres. Ceres is the sacral. So this is the point at which, because we're not, Ceres is column 5, but this is the point at which we are now connecting into a new sacral energy. We've walked, we've got that part. This is the seat of our soul is being addressed at column 3. And we've got the energy of the Monus Hieroglyphica. And this is the wizard John Dee. And this is to be a great sage, equal to heaven. We aren't that. We are not the great sage equal to heaven. But the point is that this is the magic that is on offer. It's like this is an inscription of a perfection that can come to your physical molecules when connected to the consciousness. But this is really dealing in physical molecules. It's got the right thoughts to purify, but it needs to be linked into the seat of the soul, and then it needs some other kind of alchemical formula to bring it into this kind of alignment. What's the next card? Quar. Quar is the cosmic shaman. This is true mystical experience. Column 3 is bringing the true mystical experience. I'm just holding that up so you can see the card. So it's like a very square lettered Q. And this is, I think it's an indigenous Indian god. And that's how you materialize in Taurus. I wonder, we're going from Taurus over 2 weeks. So we're going Taurus, Gemini. It's probably by Leo. When's the moon in Leo? I need to look. I feel like it's being very pointed. Let me just dig that up and check. Leo. There's always some piece of information that you can't take notes for that comes out in the reading. So this is on the 22nd. Okay, so the moon at that point will be in Cancer. It reaches, the materialization's on the 25th. 24th is when we move into Leo, and that's when we're at Ceres. So the message here is that this is this wisdom, this witchcraft, this cunning healer energy comes with some kind of gift from Minerva, a wisdom that will materialize into something much more physical, because, you know, the fixed modalities materialize things better because they fix the energy so that the salt can rise into something. And that's linking us in to Ceres. But in between that, we've got Venus coming on the 4th. So let's just get some runes. Yeah, it's fully in Leo on the 25th, but it moves in on the 24th. And that's the Ceres column. Right, so we got one underneath. Oh, look. Hang through. 12 frequency. 1775. That's too many. I'm not taking that many. I only want 3. So there's something about the Minerva one, which is about being true to yourself, being calm, being at ease, so that you can allow the Monus Hieroglyphica to be formed, to be understood, to be a wisdom that will come in with the cosmic shaman. You know, and the cosmic shaman in this sense will be Minerva. I know it's core, but it's going to have the energy behind it of Minerva. Oh, I just wanted to look at what they were, Pear Tree and Sigil. I've got a load down here going on the floor. So, yeah, look. Kawar is coming with Sheila and the Elven Ring. Going to change the name of Wickercraft to Sheila. And then Salt's coming with Leafscade. So, what have we got? Ceres. Be still your sacral. Hang in there. Go to the seat of your soul. Seek the wisdom. This is the card of seeking wisdom. Hanging still. Odin on the Yggdrasil tree, waiting for wisdom. Minerva is the wisdom. But the wisdom... the wisdom can't just materialize. It's almost like, it feels like a no day when you will almost, you've got to trust in yourself to know that the energy of Minerva will manifest. So this is the beginning of a new physical, they want me to say physical miracle. This is the beginning of a new physical miracle, a divine moment. 1775, 1878. It might have relevance historically to some people's journey. It might be past life experiences. So, Kawar, the cosmic shaman, is coming in with this really powerful Wickercrafter and Lefruma. You know, this is like the power of magic, cosmic magic, to transform you, but to wire you in to create some kind of new materialization. But it doesn't happen that day. It's giving you the energy. It's like a bolt out of the blue kind of energy. The fact that it ends in Leafscade is saying the whole of that day is to just kind of, to sort of witness, to sit in the shade of your own shadows, to sit in your own comforts, and to just allow the most miraculous epiphanies to pass through you, and to just kind of keep going, yeah, Okay, 1775 was the American Revolution. That's interesting, because next year is the Pluto return on the birth of America, you know, North America, United States. So that's the Minerva one. Now we're going to move on to Venus. Let's pop these back. I'm only doing the first 6 columns because that gives you 6 days of stuff to do. And then in a few days' time, I'll do Null Island, which is when you stop in the middle and chat with Neptune. Oh, Neptune. Enjoy the moon gazing. I can't wait to go moon gaze. If there's some clouds have cleared. So let's just pop these back. We're now moving on to column 4. I've got no timestamps, but I will try and get them in. Column 4. Column 4 is on the 23rd, and it's Venus, and we think it's to do with peace. Wow, ancestors that fought in there, Cheney. Yeah, Neptune. We love a bit of Neptune. 3 tridents. So, Venus. Interest. It's 5. No, I'm not doing it with its 5. 4 maximum. I might have to drop and peel the cards because they're too flimsy, these index cards that I bought in Merida. They've got no stiffness at all. So Venus, please. A little message from Venus. Oh, you see, now that's done 5 again. I'm just going to stick with it. So, because one of them almost doesn't need to be registered as such, you'll see. So, we're beginning with Palace, negotiations. We've seen this card already. So, Venus is about negotiating. And then we've got opposition, tensions. So, the tensions that exist, again, it's repeating that message between the graceful enforcers of boundaries. So, Venus is asking you to resolve the opposition, and this has got some kind of link to Pluto. And this is the beginning, the opening gambit. Remember, Venus is going retrograde on the 19th. And we're ending with compose. So draft, create, and form the philosophies of your boundaries. This is where it begins. And the final card is just the lunar eclipse coming again to remind you that the lunar eclipse offers us an esoteric shadow gift. So what's interesting here is there's this sense, there's no sense of the anger because we're just dealing with the asteroids, feminine energies here, because we're on the feminine side at the moment of the Ianus Neptunus. So this is creating a peace deal that enforces your boundaries, your way. You got UFO activity, fabulous. This is a maturing energy now. Palace is it's mature to negotiate. That's what we're learning. Oh, that's too many. They're all face down though. There's one face up. We're learning with Venus to mature and negotiate. Oh, that's too many. I just want 3. I actually only want 2. I got 3. So the second one with the opposition, the negotiations will free you from the tension. Wild ox, untamable. The untamable is true, but the untamable sounds like you're being pushy, and that's not the energy. It's just about understanding that opposition to things is pointless. It's just a tension that doesn't need to exist. And this is about peace, and peace is about freedom. And freedom is about being mature enough to accept change. And then you have Characlo, the graceful enforcer of boundaries, is coming back with that energy, remember, of Mars and Eris signing the deal, creating the deal in your mind. You don't have to sign it with anyone else, but you and Venus, you're signing your new declaration of your spiritual mission as you move forwards into 2022. And then we've got compose. There's no rush, because this is going to be carried through to Null Island. So there's something about just taking your time to draft all the things, your manifesto, your 12 marker points for how you're moving forward. And just, this doesn't need any explaining, but the esoteric shadow gift is to bring these two Gununga gap energies into one. So to take the shadow aspect of physical anger and then sacred rage, divine anger, and just bring them into alignment. That's, again, it's just reminding us that the lunar eclipse is the first part of this tunnel. From the darkness, from the confusion, from the oppositions, you can create this, you can troth to yourself a new pathway forwards that you're going to live. Okay, so that's column 4. Let's pop these ones back. Now, column 5 is Ceres, the soul. And this takes place on the 24th, column 5. Column 5. Oh, that was a big spillage, but there was one. Again, repeat messages. We really are getting repeat messages. This is like telling us you've got time through these columns. Even if you don't want to do it all one day after another, just build your philosophy. Oh, there's one down there. So, column 5, Ceres. Again, we're coming back to that energy, moon in Pisces, that passive sensitivity. There's something dreamy. There's something about part of this energy happening overnight in the astral. These sort of things. Oh, thank you, Bridge. Yeah, you can donate to me. PayPal me at rustlingaround/rustlingaround. So there's something about, again, this walking forwards. It's giving us another chance to review what's manifesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4 day by the first 4 days with the columns. By day 5, it's manifesting. There will be examples of this coming, because look, again, we've got the energy that we had at the Juno one. We've got this frequency of not needing to speak, but to just be somehow, to know that this magic is reforming around your physicality. And then look, we've got Ophiuchus, the bolt from the blue. This is the day, the bolt from the blue, the manifestation, the salt frequency just appears. Something will come on day 5 that you will understand is preparing you for the final goddess column the next day. And we have 6/6, fire. This is ideas and passions. And this is Aries, Leo again. This is the Leo fire appearing on the day it's meant to appear. That's beautiful. Like a bolt from the blue. I don't think it'll happen if you don't do it on if you don't do all the columns. Yeah, do you know what? I feel it feels like the energy. It feels like the energy of Leo returning to Leo. Do you know? Because it's difficult. Well, I've got 5 cards, but they really aren't in the right order. I can hear they're saying that. That one's right. That matches. That one. Is that the right one? That one's there. I get it. Yes, thank you. That's right. That one. That one. Got it. Okay, here we go. It's because they spilt everywhere. We begin with Hamfereld, the Bifrost, the Billrost. This is a day when, look, this is 77. This is a magical card number 77. This is being caught in a glittering magical energy that connects you to the seat of your soul, Ceres, but it connects you also to the seat of your higher soul almost. And then this not speaking, this quincux, this meditative state is again reminding you, oh, look, 77, 44, 22. This is a magical moment, and 66. Actually, we got 666. So this is a reminder of why you are changing your philosophy here. It just will come to you as an energy that will be saying the doubts that you had, where no, it's not that, it's how you didn't doubt what you should doubt. And that's what comes back. That energy of understanding why you weren't making progress. 4344, 4344 in that energy. And then this Monas Hieroglyphicus, this great sage energy, begins to settle in the belly. It begins to form because you're planting seeds. That's been the energy all the way through this. This is where the ing is the lantern. The lantern of the soul sparks up. And with Ophiuchus, the bolt from the blue is Earthsgrap. It's the lightning, the bolt from the blue, connecting right through everything, bringing you to something that's fated. You will be gripped by the new energy that you're creating in the earth, in the seat of your soul, in your sacral, in your Sirius frequency. And then this fire, this passions, is divine spark 666. Ken, are you listening? It's all about you. Wassail Joanna. Wassail Sarah. So there's a brand new passionate idea. It's like by the point of this magical day with the glittering Bifrost energy, everything will start to make sense. And then what we're giving to Vesta on the 6th column is what Vesta will take to Neptune. Your manifesto. Maybe it's not 12 points. Maybe it's 6. Maybe it's just 6 new frequencies of understanding. And then the men have got to work out, the gods, how they carry that energy forwards. Because you're the one setting the rule here. You're setting the rule with the goddesses. So let's just pop these back. Wassail Angela Moon. Wassail Charity. Wassail Stella. I might have said that already, but can't help myself. You just got a sacred singing bowl. Gorgeous. Right, so 6. This is day 25, 25th of November, Vesta, to nurture, but it's also the eternal flame. So by this column, somehow I get the feeling that your manifesto that you formed, it doesn't matter how many points it is, but this new spiritual mission that you're putting yourself on of philosophical thoughts, this is what's formulated now, and this is what's coming to Vesta. So Vesta, oh look, she's got that, she's taken that fire. How many is that? Oh, breaking all my rules. She's taking the fire directly from Ceres. The new ideas that you've had, this 6-6 energy, she's taking it, and it's the solution. It's the resolve. It's the release. It's what wakens the, I guess, the energy of Neptune. It's a divine energy. And look, it's being carried forwards with the cosmic shaman. You become the cosmic shaman now. That's the whole point. When you stand in front of Vesta, you are the eternal flame. Moon in Sagittarius. We are in Sagittarius now. It's reminding you, you've completed now your philosophical mission. That's where we started. And Moon in Pisces, it's a passive sensitivity. It's dreamy. It's an energy of just being so at one with yourself. By the 6th column, there's just this beautiful, passive, philosophical, magical solution that feels so passionate that you're going to give to Neptune so that he can create the changes needed in the other 6 columns. So, three more cards, please, not 36. How many is that? No, that's about 8. And that's too many. I think I'm going to drop them. Okay, so the next one. It's so lovely. So, the new ideas are with the Bifrost again, the Bilros, the homeward journey. This is the homeward journey. These new ideas will take you back to yourself, an eternal flame. And that's the fire. This is Vesta frequency. And I said earlier, she's got the name Vesta Extremis. Now, solve. Solve is coming with mend, needle, restitching, creating a new fabric in time. 1841. There's something, 8141. There's something about the halving of the first number. It's like you've halved the problems to mend something. What comes with Koar? Smear. Tear, smelt. Tear is once the primary god, but it's about taking your entire being, melting everything down as a cosmic shaman that you're becoming, and molding everything in your world, your life, into something new. There's a little, whatever it is, I can only see it when I look at the side of my head. There's a little tiny, like, goblin creature just sitting down here with me. Hello. I can't see him when I look. I'll ask him a question at the end. So with Moon in Sagittarius that we've reached, it's returning us to the energy of the sacral. It's saying this is what we're planting in the sacral. This new philosophical mission is our new truth, is our new light, is what we've just molded from the first 6 days in the eclipse tunnel before we hit the thing. And then Moon in Pisces, passively creating the troth, the spear. We've signed an agreement with ourself and our higher self now to become something new as we move forwards into 2022. So that's the first 6 columns. Probiotic tea sounds nice. So I'm going to have to ask that goblin what it wants. I don't know how it got in here. I put a blockage around the whole building. Oh, look, I think I've just put all the wrong cards in the wrong one. Luckily, they show up quite well. It's that goblin. It's confusing me. We put the right ones back. Wassail Clarity. Right, I'm not going to use these cards for the goblin because they're not his energy. They're for us. Right, let's get the shamanics. Right, you might be able to see him. He's standing behind me. If your eyes wide open. Thank you, Donna. Let's just ask this goblin. What do you want, goblin? What have you popped in for? What have you popped in for, goblin? What do you want, goblin? You see, that's really weird because what he's saying initially is he's lost his owl. I don't know what that means. What do you mean, goblin? You've lost your owl. Oh, he's lost his spirit. Oh, look, the Time Master and completion. I still don't know what it means. I'm just going to get 2 more and then I'm going to have to put some tarot on it. Drum. You're not making sense, I'll be really honest, goblin. Oh, and then he's just thrown a card up and it's landed on the glass. And it's beloved and it's 155. Right, I think he's lost his best friend or his partner or something. Let's just see. Whoops. Tree of Life and the Owl, please. Tree of Life and the Owl. Tree of Life and the Owl. Tree of Life and the Owl. Right. Flow upside down and the 7 of Swords upside down. He's upset. I can't. You see, the thing is I can't work out whether he's lost his friend or he's lost his home. That's what's interesting, because the tree feels very much like it's got some energy of home. So the Time Master in completion. Mary the Jewess has turned up. Okay. He's not unhappy. He's actually giggling. So what he's saying is, I'm just going to finish. I'm going to put the last two cards down. It's really quite a cheeky little goblin. So what he's saying is, he's drawing my attention to, I'll just show you the card. So he's Mary the Jewess and Satiety. He's like, the energy is not sated in this reading until I show you the deck in here, the card that has been created for Mary the Jewess. And he's just, she's the beloved. His joke was, I intended to show you that card and it slipped my mind. And so he came along because it's really important that, you know, the Monas Hieroglyphica came out, which is the John Dee card, but he's not the original alchemist. She is. And so he's been sent through to say that, because there's elements of her, there's elements of the symbols in the creation of her hieroglyphs, her symbol that I've made. So he's giving me 13 frequency, change. He's giving me change, alchemy, change. He's saying bring everything back into dominion. Give her dominion. There's no flow in the whole reading. It's all upside down if we don't address the fact that this is all about the alchemy of Mary the Jewess. So I'll find you the card, and then it's one of the lovely orange ones, and it took me a long time to create her energy. So here is Mary the Jewess in the new deck, and this is her hieroglyph. So this is the energy of time, the hourglass. And then the idea is, this is the North Node. And so the North Node is the destiny, the path you walk through life. This is the triple goddess energy, which is very much represented in this card of flow, the Nine of Pentacles, because this is moon in Taurus, the current moon. And it's also about the balance between the cycles of the moon. And then down here we have gravel and sand, which is really this energy of the drum, the focus of what's deep below in the sacral. And then up here we have the star energy, and that's come across here and here as the energy of transforming the heart. And the transformed heart gives you the satiety. So, and I did base the notion of it on this card. So I hope you like, she has no description yet. I feel like she doesn't yet need one, but we'll see what happens. But she knows her destiny. She's connected to the moon. She has starlight in her heart, and gravel to give her physicality. So that's Mary, and she's 91. That makes a 10, which is a completion and a new beginning. So, yeah, and I still think Dana, I don't know whether it needs anything, because she is everything in terms of alchemy. I mean, look at her on this card. She's so gorgeous. She's almost got an Janus Geminus, two faces looking both ways, the transformation. It's an amazing card, this. Yeah, the North Node is because we must always be aware that we're walking the path of our destiny. We must always keep walking the path of our destiny. It isn't the energy of where we came from, the South Node. It's where we know we're meant to be heading. And the moons are that intuitive notion of where we're heading. Yeah, there's definitely High Priestess, Danielle. Yeah, I don't know what she will be. We will see what comes from the artwork. I really enjoyed that reading, everybody. I hope you did. The little goblin's gone. So funny. He was just down there and he kept kind of tapping for my attention. Every time I looked, you can't see him. He's one of those out the corner of your eye things only. But he was really doing a kind of like, oh, sobby poor me, kind of boo-hoo. And then when I realised what he was up to, mission complete, Sheila, exactly. And now I'm going to go out and see if I can see the Umbra after all that work. You think they'll clear the clouds for me? I'm going to take Mary out with me and she's going to alchemically clear the sky. I have to show you, though, actually, just to be fair, she didn't look like that originally. I went through, I sat with a pen looking at all the different symbols, alchemical symbols, and I couldn't pull out anything. I was doing Philosopher's Stone split apart. I was doing sulfur, and I just didn't like this lack of a body. This looked a little bit like she was doing flamenco dancing. And then I began to get the notion of the moon. I liked this, but it wasn't the nodes at that point. And then just today, when I was sitting down, it just immediately became that. Jay can see the moon almost full when such clear skies. It should, by in about another 40 minutes, it should turn blood red. I'm amazed I stayed awake and didn't yawn. So, beautiful people, go outside and have a look at the moon. It's the right moment now. And I will try and, you'll have to be patient. There'll be people going, where are the timestamps? But I can't do them now. I have to do them in the morning. I can't watch this back. Do it tomorrow. At least I waved my fingers to help me find them. Okay, so yes, you can donate to me if you wish to. It's PayPal me at Rustling Around or PayPal me / Rustling Around. So good night, everybody, and I'll be back in a couple of days to do Null Island, and then I need to get the other 6 columns done, the God columns, so that we see what goes on then. So happy eclipse, everybody, and enter the eclipse tunnel, the Janus Neptunus. So thanks for all turning up and enjoy your evening. Wassail beautiful people.